Francis is a great source of inspiration for me. It has become my habit these days that I begin my day listening to his homilies, daily homilies, or audience talks. And there is something in him that gives a lot of joy and hope to all those who listen to him. On 3rd January, I got an occasion and opportunity to greet him at Chiesa di Gesù when he came to declare Peter Faber a saint. I had planned a few things to ask him, a few words to tell him, but the moment when I was in his presence, I became speechless. I couldn't say anything. I was so much taken up by his warm and delightful presence. People speak very often about his simplicity and his simple way of life. But what attracts me in Pope Francis is more than his simplicity, his boldness. And he's a man, it's quite evident, he's a man who is guided by, directed by the Spirit. And in every intervention, interaction that he is involved in, we can see the presence of the Spirit. And I feel that he is a real person, real man, molded by the spirit of the spiritual exercises. The second week of the spiritual exercises, we pray for this grace to know the Lord more deeply, to love Him more dearly, and follow Him more closely. We take all the works and words and deeds of Pope Francis, we can say, all these things he do in order to help people to know the Lord more deeply, to love Him more dearly, and to follow Him more closely. I give you an example. Last week, he gave in an interview some 10 tips for happy life. And one of them is very striking, that he very clearly says, we should not proselytize. And he says the proselytization paralyzes. And he says that we should attract people to our religion, to our faith, through our life. I also read some comments, some criticisms by some people, saying that he is going completely against the missionary movement, missionary theology of the church, which I have been following for the last 2000 years, especially referring to Matthew 28, 16, 20. I think that it is not true. It is in fact following the spirit of the commandment of Jesus. To understand that 28, 16, 20, we need to read it in the background of Matthew 5, 16, where Jesus says, let your light shine before others so that people may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. And that's what he does. That's what he says. Attract people with your life. And again, this 28, 16, 20, we should see in the light of Jesus on baptism. Certainly there is a command to go and baptize the whole world. But what happened in Jesus' baptism is important to understand this 28, 16, 20. It is not against the spirit of the church. And in Jesus' baptism, 3 things happened. First of all, he was confirmed of his identity as the Son of God. Second thing, he was filled with the Spirit. The Spirit alighted on him. Third thing, and this baptism scene is associated with the suffering servant of Yahweh in the Old Testament, who would bear the pain of the people. So these 3 things, affirmation of one's identity as the Son of God, being filled with the Spirit of God, and to strengthen oneself to bear the pain of people. And these 3 things are important in baptism. And this is what Jesus says at the end of the gospel, sort of a mission commandment. Help people to recognize and affirm their identity as children of God. Fill them with the Spirit of God. and strengthen them to bear the pain of other people. And there is no command to proselytize. That's what I think that the Pope is trying to emphasize here. That's why I said, know Him more deeply, love Him more dearly, and follow Him more closely. And by doing that, one will be able to attract people to the Father. So, the command in 5:16, the mission command, let your light shine before others so that people may come and know and glorify your Father in heaven. So this is what I would like to say about Pope Francis. He is communicating the spirit of Jesus and helping people to follow Him more and more closely in the way of the Lord. This 17th, Pope is celebrating his birthday, and I pray that the Lord may continue guiding him and give him good health, so that he may be able to attract more and more people to the Lord and to His mission and to His church. We wish him very happy birthday. Also, I wish you all a very happy Christmas and a very prosperous